workload will not always be the same when it comes to doing independent contract work. And it doesn't matter where you live, when disaster strikes, things happen. It could be the smallest of things, especially depending on where you stay. Thunderstorms, a lot of rain, things of that nature. Tornadoes, hurricanes, wildfires, all right? So the reason why I say that is because the past event, prayers still go out to those who have been tremendously affected by the California wildfires. But because of the event, there have been things that have happened when it comes to my workload. I just want to give you a prime example of what I mean by when things happen, how your work could slow down. And whether you're prepared or not, sometimes you just have to take the punches as they land, right? All right, so I had one particular insured. This insured owned 2 locations, so I was under the impression. I thought it was just 2 locations. And they gave me the files for this one insured. So I called him under the impression that I am going to set up both inspections on the same day. And when I called him, it took me forever to get in touch with him, first of all. And finally, when I did reach him, he states that he had another property, well, several other properties. And he asked me did I recall him. Of course, I didn't remember talking to him at all. But he says that I've been to a property before. Of course, you know, I've done so many inspections. I wouldn't know. How am I supposed to know if I went to your location a time or two before? Voices, they start to intermingle once you've done so many and you hear them over the phone. There was no intimate sort of relationship or nothing like that. You guys have to forgive me, I need to get my steps in. Thinking about rain, we got rain. What? We got rain after the fires. Yes, we got a little rain. But anyway, need to try to give me some steps in outside. I slow down a little bit so I can talk to you guys. Try to do it while I talk because I have so many other things I'm trying to do today. But anyway, back to the story. So this guy says that he has more than 2 properties. He has 1 or 2 more. That's what he said. All right. And he wants me to inspect all of them. So I was like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do about that, sir. If they don't give me your file, what can I do? I can't do anything but just inspect the ones that they've given me. So let's set up the appointment for those. Well, no. I want to get all of my properties in on the same day, and I want you to be the one to do all of them. I just prefer if you do them. Okay. I said, well, if you can make that happen, but until then, we still need to get these set up. He was insistent on not getting those set up. He said, I want to make sure I get all the rest of my properties in first. Come on, Deidre, give me a day or 2. I'm like, okay. So when we hung up the phone, you know me, I'm like, okay, good luck on that. Because I have never seen nobody make something like that happen. It wasn't even before the end of that day. I received the email. The email said, we have several other properties that we have uploaded for you because this particular insured has requested that you inspect his properties. I couldn't believe it. I was like, okay, so he did pull the punches. Now bear in mind, now remember, let's backtrack. He had 2 at first, and he said 1 or 2 more. So that's what I was under the impression. When I went into the system and looked at it, I had another 5 locations. And I was like, what's going on with this? 5 locations? I was already going to meet you for 2, right? So that's 7 locations. In order for us to get those done in a day, I'm going to have to backtrack my time. We're going to have to start in the morning so that we can get it finished so I don't be out all day messing with this guy. Because there was only about 3 of them in the same area. The rest of them were out and about. So we was going to be like traveling and, tailgating each other, going from location to location. So then he says, well, let me get with someone on the inside. You know, we always got to jump through those hoops, right? So he's like, let me get with someone for each location. Now we got to go through this. Eventually calls me back, and we set a date. So we got a date set in stone for the apartments. Then, this was supposed to be like a week out. Okay, so then, right before the fire happened, he wrote me and he said, one of the locations, or shall I say 2 of the locations, he still couldn't get a unit. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna have to do with what we got. You know, we gotta get these appointments done. We gotta have to get these inspections done and out of here. And he was like, okay, I understand that, but we have 2 more, and I just wanna make sure all of them are right. So give me a moment, give me by the next day, and then we can just reschedule for another day. Probably won't be but another day out. Okay. Well, bear in mind now, the appointment that was set for the day of or the day after the actual fires themselves. All right. So you know what happened. The fire hit, and I didn't hear from him. So now not only did I have just those 2 from him, but I had 5 more that he had added to my roster for a day of inspections, okay? 5 more that he added, pulled some sort of string, okay. And now I can't get in touch with him. Couldn't hear from him, didn't know what's going on. Now I know the present locations of a few of them were in Beverly Hills, right? That's down Sunset. So I don't know exactly where his location was, where he lived, you know, if it affected him some sort of way through the family or what, I don't know. But all communications stopped. No calls, no emails, no response to voicemails. The agency can't get a hold to anybody. It like went dead. And I know that it had to be something to do with the fires. So that's 7 that was already set up for that 1 week. I had 2 more from another insured, and at one point we had an appointment, but then she had to reschedule. So she wanted to reschedule the appointment because there was things going on in her life, and then she turned around and wanted to reschedule again because she wasn't feeling well. All right. So I had to just go with the flow with these types of insurers. You know, when they want to reschedule and stuff, there's nothing you can do. You got to just let them do what they do, right? So we rescheduled, got everything situated. Hers was set for the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. It was after the fire, or during the fire. And no call, no voicemails, no nothing. See, I live in this area, so I expected for things to take a turn, but they have like really taken a turn when it comes to these locations. Now, of course, I do still do work on the outskirts, you know, but it doesn't matter which direction you're going in. If the person who runs the overall company or the business or who owns the property, if they have been affected by the fires or if their family have been affected by the fires, it doesn't matter which way you're going, because at the end of the day, you still have to meet these people, and people have been affected. So if something occurs in your area, even the smallest, rain, we have bad weather coming up. A lot of you live in areas where it rains all the time. It's probably raining or snowing right now. When that occurs, you can look for your workload to slow down. Yeah, either it's going to slow down or the weather itself is going to slow you down. Because we want to be safe out here in these streets while we're doing any type of independent work that requires you to have to leave the house. So what do you do when things slow down? As I said, you take the punches as they're blown. You keep smiling, you keep knowing that tomorrow will be a better day, and you keep it pushing. That's the situation that I'm in right now. I do have a few that I'm going to do today. Time is pushing. I just wanted to share that, and if any of you have experienced anything going on and it slowed down or something happened that made you not be able to perform the way you thought you would be able to perform due to any type of weather or any type of disaster, drop it in the comment section. Let's talk about it, because yeah, this is a topic that a lot of people need to hear, because there are a lot of different things that can play a role in how much money you make per month. And this is something that sometimes you just can't be prepared for. Stuff will knock you down, and when you do, you just got to be able to get back up. These types of things are prone to happen, and we should never be feeling like this is what's going to always be. You have to always come in knowing that anything can happen. But hey, anything can happen on that 9 to 5 too, right? All right, if you don't believe me, ask some of those that walk in on their job this past week and was laid off the day of.